Good morning, LinkedIn. I'm sitting out here, beautiful day outside. Decided to sit back and smell the roses a little bit, drinking my cup of coffee out here in front of my house, and just kind of reflecting on the week and thinking about some of the most amazing people I had the opportunity to interview for my podcast this week. One of them was Q Allums, who reached over 1 million views here on LinkedIn, and to hear this young man's story was just phenomenal. And I sat down with another guy that travels the world doing photography, and hearing his story was just phenomenal because I had no idea that he even went through half of these things that he was talking about. So I'll listen out for my podcast. I'm going to have those up here pretty soon. But I was reflecting on the past 7 years and thinking that I got a bunch of appointments today, and they're all for me. They're all for my business, my digital marketing agency. Had no idea or never even thought about or dreamed of owning my own business. And I was thinking back to all the years of, all the way back to high school when, I was told by my guidance counselor that, you're never going to make it. You shouldn't go to West Point. It's really tough. We had a football player that went and they didn't make it. They didn't survive. And you're just a scrawny old, 130 something pound track athlete. Even I had family tell me that, it's pretty tough. Maybe you should go somewhere else. And, all the way up through corporate America, working for a Fortune 100 company and being told that, you don't have what it takes to manage. I don't think you really, can cut it. And despite coming back from the Gulf War and graduating from West Point. So, a lot of my life I was just told that, I couldn't make it. I just wasn't going to do it. I didn't have what it took. I couldn't make the cut. And, instead of letting that discourage me, I used that as fuel for my fire to keep going on. And I know that a lot of people here on LinkedIn are, looking for their dream job, their perfect job, or looking for validation of their education and the approval of someone else saying, hey, we're going to hire you. But, as I reflect, my camera's acting kind of goofy here. As I reflect, a couple things. I don't think that a lot of people really realize just how good you are at something, or believe that they are that good. Honestly, when I got out here and started doing digital marketing, I just kind of put the pieces together to what made sense. And even though a lot of people were saying, I don't know, that's kind of, you got to find this niche and you got to do it this way and you got to do it that way, I just stuck with it. Because it's what I believed, and I believed that, I could forge a new path and new direction and a new approach. And even when it came to bringing people on board, it was a totally different model. And I got asked a lot of questions. Well, how do you keep good people? And I've got some amazing people on my team. Well, let me fix this camera there. Okay. And I've got some amazing people on my teams, so I was always asked, how do you keep them? How do you keep them motivated? Because, you have a totally different compensation structure and things like that, and it's just worked out. So, to everybody on LinkedIn is maybe doubting themselves or saying, hey, I'm not going to feel as if, this education was worth it, or that I'm actually, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. You are. And a lot of times it just takes being forced out of that boat so that you can walk on water. A lot of times we really don't know how good we are until our backs are up against the wall. I was thinking maybe about a couple years ago, I sat right here on these steps, and can you see my steps? These steps. Where are my steps at? I can't find my steps. Where are my steps at? There they are. Here are my steps. Okay, where are my steps? There they are. I sat here. Let me fix this camera again. So I sat there on these steps, and thinking, shoot, man, was this the right decision? I'm not getting a lot of clients, and this is tough. This is tough making your own money instead of having this constant paycheck coming in. And for a brief moment, I questioned the decision, but then I quickly realized the alternative. Not being employed, putting out all those resumes, looking for a job, looking for someone to say, hey, I think, I believe in you. And I quickly forgot about the doubting of my decision to go into my own business. So I just want to put it out there that it is possible. Keep positive people around you. One of my VP actually said to me in our meeting, said, you know what, when I look back at all the struggles that I've had, I actually have 100% success rate of getting through them. And I thought that was just amazing. And so stick with it there, LinkedIn. All you people out there looking for jobs, looking, starting to doubt your worth. You went to college for all these years, or you have this great skill set and nobody's believing, and you just have to stick with it. And it's that grit that's going to pay off in the long run. Trust me on that. I'm 53 years old. Started my business when I was, in my late 40s. Had no idea what I was doing. Just had a dream, decided to make a change, and I went for it. And that's been a common story with many of the entrepreneurs that I've had the pleasure of interviewing on my show. It's just getting through those valleys, because everybody has to go through a valley to get to the mountaintop. All right. So anyway, I hope that this was some inspiration for everybody. And hey, hit me up if you got any questions. Just want to chat. Need some inspiration. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to keep everything to myself, but I'm here to give back and to help people reach those dreams, get to where they want to be in life. All right. So I'm sipping my coffee here. Oh, that's so good. Anyway, love you all. Peace.